Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for February 14, 2023, the Happy Valentine's Day edition. So we don't have a lead story today, but we do have our 4 stories. First up, from the Wall Street Journal, new SEC rules will target corporate insider trading. The SEC is going to remove many of the loopholes that allow corporate insiders to hide behind trading plans. These new disclosure requirements will kick in August 1, and officers and directors will now have to wait at least 90 days after starting or modifying their 10b5-1 plans before they can trade under the new regime. Next up, from ESPN, New Mexico State University has canceled the remainder of its men's basketball season after reviewing a police report that cited 3 players for false imprisonment, harassment, and counts of criminal sexual contact against a teammate. The president, or rather chancellor of the university, made the announcement. ESPN reported and previously reported hazing of players, including disrobing or taking players' clothes off, slapping players, and other forms of hazing. Next up, from the New York Times, the most corrupt attorney general in the history of the state of Texas, and boy, that's saying something, has agreed to pay $3.3 million in settlement to 4 former senior aides who had said that Paxson retaliated against them after they accused him of corruption and other crimes. Paxson agreed to the payment and an apology to the men. These were all very conservative lawyers who had once been in some of the state's top legal positions. As a taxpayer of the great state of Texas, I'm outraged that this personal, unethical, and probably illegal conduct by Paxson is being paid for through settlement funds of taxpayer money, but there we are. And finally, white fragility. Yes, the fraud of white fragility has been shown in a series of recent rulings that have exposed both anti-critical race theory and anti-wokeism for what it is: a racist, systemic attack on the teaching of Black history. Yes, this even goes to the teaching of slavery. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.